My name is Mason Woodward, and I'm from just really all over. My parents got divorced at a young age whenever I was 6, so kind of just switching back and forth from my mom and my dad's house, just kind of all over. My life was like growing up in a broken home, parents always fighting, just going, like I said, from place to place, just not a very good home life situation. My parents always at work, and when they were home, fighting. And growing up in a broken home affected me just, I don't know, kind of brought me into my addiction, not trusting nobody, Grew up just doing drugs, kind of staying away from my family. I didn't want to be home, always traveling back and forth to buddies' houses and stuff, I didn't want to be around my family at all. What led me here, I guess it started whenever I was 11, Started smoking pot and just rebelling from everything and not listening to nobody, and just kept getting in trouble with the law and stuff, I got locked up whenever I was 14, caught a bunch of charges, and I was court mandated to 3D teen recovery. I was taken from my home, from my active addiction, what I was doing in my everyday life, wanted to do everything that I wanted to do. Nobody could tell me any differently. So coming to the program, to 3D teen recovery, was, difficult, having everyone tell me what to do and what not to do. I didn't want to listen, But I really had to come to a point to see that, they're not just telling me this to be jerks and stuff, they're just telling me this out of love, trying to make me into a better person, trying to help me be better. First time at 3D teen recovery, I stayed for a whole year. June the 9th, 2017 till June the 9th, 2018 is when I graduated. So I relapsed the first 2 hours that I was out, with my brother at the time. Me and him smoked some weed, nothing really big, but little did I know that eventually ended me up into like a long meth addiction. I basically had everything that I could ever want. I had my own place, I had 3 cars, 2 motorcycles, and lost everything. I went from being homeless, going to campgrounds to take showers, and it was just rough. I threw everything away just because of meth. I didn't want to listen to nobody. So I called a man named Dan Dixon. He was the program director at the time that I was in the program, or at 3D teen recovery. I was addicted to meth really bad. I went all the way from 180 pounds, dropped all the way to 130 pounds, lost everything that I had. My whole family, nobody talks to me but my mom now. I felt empty and broken, I didn't have anybody but myself. I didn't have a relationship with God at that time. I knew who God was, but I didn't want to call on him, or I didn't want to ask him for help because I was scared. I knew what he was capable of doing. I knew what he brought me out of the first time, and I knew he'd bring me out of it the second time, but I wasn't ready to stop. I knew who God was, but I didn't have a relationship with him. I got saved August 22nd, 2016, and I thought that I was going to live my life, with Christ and like be perfect, kind of like, not be perfect, but I thought my life was going to be better from then on out, and really it just got worse. He started working on me, and because I knew right from wrong. I started digging into his word and stuff, and I started building a hate towards God. I didn't, like, why me, God? Like, why all this stuff happened to me? If you're like this great God, why? It was really hard for me to understand a lot of it, and I fell into addiction, Just kept using drugs, trying to escape reality, and God works in like mysterious ways. He brought me here the first time, and he brought me back a second time, I know that he has a greater purpose for me. If I'm here for some reason, God just didn't bring me here to take me out of addiction. He brought me here to build a relationship with him, to give back to people and share my story of what I've been through. Life for me now is just joy, happiness. I thank God every day for what he's brought me out of. He's fixed some broken relationships, he's helped me be clean and sober for 2 months now. I didn't think that was possible. That's the longest I've been sober since I was 14 years old, I didn't think it was possible at all. I didn't think I was worthy of what he had planned for me. Why me, God? Like, there's no way I can do what you want me to do. And he just continues to work on me, continues to show me things that I need. You know, my relationship with him has grown just like stronger and stronger. I don't know how to explain it. I go to church, I raise my hands now. You know, I thought I was stupid before. You know, I pray every day. You know, I just walk in gratitude, like thanking him for everything that he's brought me out of and is continuing to do in my life for me. I mean, it's a struggle every day. You know, every day I think about meth, but I have to remember what God's brought me out of. I have to remember all the bad times that I went through, you know. I have to thank God for everything. I have to walk in gratitude, because if I don't, you know, I start backsliding. I start going backward, like, why? Like, I don't need to be here. There's no way. Like, I have to thank him for everything. You know, it's rough. You know, I have using dreams just about every night still. You know, people will throw like dope at me and just like, here, and I have to wake up and thank God, like, that's a dream, thank you. You know, that I'm not back in active addiction, that I'm not doing these horrible things, you know. I got this tattoo probably a month ago. It's Roman numerals that I gave my life back to Christ, which is 12, 15, 19. You know, that's the date that I made it in my mind, like, you know, I'm doing God's will. I'm gonna do what he wants for me. I'm not going back to that lifestyle. I'm not going back to addiction. I'm not hurting my family anymore. You know, I'm gonna be the man that God wants me to be. And underneath the Roman numerals is trust your struggle. And that is just a reminder, you know, to me to trust what God's putting me through. You know, that I've been through a lot in my life, but a lot of it's self-induced, but a lot of it is for a reason. You know, God has a purpose in my life. You know, God brought me out of a lot of things, so I have to trust what he put me through is gonna make me into a better person, that there is a reason for it. And then with the tattoo, there's also a crown on the side of the Roman numerals explaining, like, you know, God is King of all kings, Lord of all lords, and God of all gods. If I can tell anyone anything, it would be to trust your struggle. You know, trust what you're going through is gonna make you into a better person. Don't hold hatred towards God or anybody else. You know, there's a reason for what you're going through. You know, just trust it. You know, put all your faith and all your trust into God, you know.